Hi, I'm Holly.
I'm Charisse.
Welcome to our Ask Mom series. Today we are discussing
Bullying. Bullying.
It's not so funny when you're being bullied, though, is it?
No, it's not. It's not funny at all. And it happens a ton.
Yes.
I think a lot more than when we were kids, from what I remember.
Well, you know, there's just a lot more ways to bully now because
That's
we
true.
didn't have texting or email or, you know, any of the cyber bullying stuff, which, you know, is the most cowardice of all because you don't have to look the person even in the eyes, but you can send them a million messages that harm them.
Right. Exactly.
So bullying is anytime someone is making you feel afraid, calling you names, hitting you, tripping you, intimidating you.
What about like getting other people against you, ganging other people up against you, saying false rumors about you?
That's all bullying.
That's all bullying.
And anytime you're feeling, you know, afraid to go to school because you might encounter them, or to go to a club, or to, you know, go downtown, you know, in your little town or whatever, to hang out because you might run into this person or whatever, that's a sure sign that that person is bullying you. Why is it happening? Why does someone bully?
I think sometimes the bullies bully because a lot of times it has to do about control. They want to be in control and have the control over you. And they just pick targets.
And it doesn't mean there's something wrong with you. It doesn't mean like, you know, something weird or strange or whatever about you. You happen to be the next person that hit their radar. The main thing to remember is that it's not your fault. So it's not that if you change something, make something better about yourself or whatever, that it's going to stop. More than likely it's not, because none of this is about you. It's all about them.
And sometimes a bully bullies because they're being bullied. So it could be that they're being bullied at somebody at home. It could be somebody close to them. It could be a parent that's bullying them. It could be a sibling that's bullying them. And they'll take it out on somebody else.
If you're being bullied, you know, what are some things you can do? People are bullied, and sometimes it's really by a bully, and sometimes it's just about someone being careless. Careless with their words. So we're not saying that anytime someone says something mean to you, you're being bullied and you need to run and go tell somebody. But, you know, if it's somebody who's just being careless at school, they say something unkind to you, you know, if it happens
and it's
once,
not their normal pattern.
Yeah, it's not normally
it's not
who they
normally
are.
who they are, right?
If they do it once or twice, I'd say ignore them. And, you know, it never hurts to tell your parents, this happened twice at school, and I just want you to know because it's making me upset, or I want to talk about it because I'm upset, or to tell your other friends or something like that. It's not that you need to keep it inside and just deal with it. But ignoring that person will often make them think, well, that wasn't very fun because they didn't respond to what I did.
Yeah,
so, but if it's a first-time offense and someone physically hurts you, you tell right away. No one should physically harm you for any reason.
If it happens at school, you tell a teacher, you tell the principal, you tell somebody that's in charge.
Right. And if you don't have the courage to go right away up to an adult, tell a friend and ask them to go with you.
Right.
And be a support for you. You could also try to stand up to the bully. You could think in advance, like if it's happened once before with someone, you could think, okay, well, maybe I just stood there and went, what? You know, because you weren't expecting it. And so maybe you could think of some things that you could say back to them, not, you know, hurtful, mean words back to them. That's not a cycle that you want to get in. You don't want to escalate this, but you could say, why are you doing this? Or, you know, if they call you something, you could just do this, so. And then
if they see that it doesn't, I think if they see that it doesn't bother you, they'll choose another target that it does bother.
Yeah, I think that's true. And if they know that right away you're going to do something about it, so say something happens one time and you ignore it and it happens again, then, you know, I think if you have the courage to say it, say, you know, if something like this ever happens again, if you ever do this again, I'm going straight to the principal. Telling an adult you trust is always the best way to go. I mean, it just is. Telling somebody at home, just think, you know, we talk all the time about cultivating relationships with some adult that you could trust. I think we've mentioned it in almost every video we've ever done. And so it's important, whether you're talking about periods or bullying or, you know, friendship issues, it just having an adult that you can confide in and say, what would you do? Where should I go from here? It just helps to have that sounding board of maturity. And if you have a feeling about how you'd like it to be handled, I think that's really important to be able to tell the adult, you know, maybe I'm not ready for you to do something about this right now, but I just wanted you to know, and I'll make sure I let you know if it happens again, and then maybe I'd like you to call that person's parents or call the school or whatever.
Right.
So think about how you might like it addressed, because, you know, you're the one that's being victimized by this bully, and you should have some say about how it's handled. Now, obviously there's texting and Facebook and emails that people can send you, whether you've given them your email address or not. There's lots of ways to be able to get it, and so sometimes people are being bullied that way. And so, you know, you could keep copies of your emails. In fact, you should.
Definitely.
So that you have proof of what they're sending to you. Don't respond back to them when they send you mean things. Don't respond back. But keep a, you know, a journal, or keep copies of the emails so that you can show when you go to tell somebody, you can say, here's the track record of what they're saying and what they're doing. The number one thing you want to do, you don't want someone who's bullying you to continue to create a pattern out of attacking you in however they're doing it.
Because that's how it will do. It will be a pattern, and it'll last a long time.
Exactly. And so the sooner it stops, you save yourself from going into depression because this has been going on. You know, the sooner you stop, just all of the impact it's going to have on your life. And so it needs to happen.
Because if you have somebody telling you negative things about yourself, which is usually what bullies do, you know, they tell it to you enough, you're going to start to think that that's true.
Yeah.
And you're going to start to see yourself like that.
So there was a girl who sent me her story about how she was bullied, and I'm going to try to read through it quickly, but I think it has a lot of impact. She says, it started when I was 7. There was a girl at school, and she started making fun of how I look. At first, I was just ignoring her, and then she started getting some other girls to join in with her, which is very common. They called me names and would trip me, and none of my friends would stick up for me because they thought she would pick on them too. This carried on up until I went to high school. I still hadn't told my mom. So from 7 to high school, this is going on. She'd never told an adult. Then when I started high school, I thought everything was going to be fine because it's a bigger school and we wouldn't see each other as much, but I was wrong. She was in nearly every lesson that I was in, and every day she made my life feel like hell. Then her friends joined in also, and for a while they were making comments under their breath and starting rumors about me. When I was 12, she inboxed me on Facebook telling me that this earth doesn't want me alive and everyone hates me and the world would be a better place if I was dead. I tried to forget about it and move on, but I couldn't. Every time she made a comment about me or sent me a nasty message or got people to shout at me, I'd cut myself. I've still got loads of self-harm scars. I thought that if I cut myself, it would help me forget about her, and it did until she bullied me some more. Then I started to make myself sick. Then finally on my 13th birthday, I tried to hang myself. I wanted to die because she made a rumor about me that I'd had sex and everyone believed her. But my mom caught me seconds before I was about to die and she saved me. Then I told her everything. So this is 6 years later. Her mom is finally finding out. I told her everything and she cried for hours. She called the school and the girls' parents, and eventually we moved halfway across the country to start over. I go to counseling twice a week now, and I'm getting treatment for the scars on me, and I'm sure she means emotional scars. But it's still a struggle to wake up every morning and live on. It shouldn't take suicide to realize that bullying is wrong and to get the help you need. There are a couple of organizations that we found online that we thought were really great. The helpguide.org has great written resource where you can see how you can help a friend or how you can get help for yourself, and I highly recommend you checking that out. When you get there, it has help on all sorts of topics. You can look anything up, but type in bullying into the search engine part of that site and you'll see everything they have on that. And the other one is videojug.com. Again, type in bullying, and it has video responses from therapists about how to get help, and you know, you can Google online help, hotlines, all kinds of resources, I'm sure, in your area.
And there's one other thing I want to say too, because what if you're the one that's not being bullied, but you're the friend of the bully? What if it was you? What if you were the one that was the target?
Yeah.
You know, you can't allow a bully to be a bully. And if you're just being passive because you don't want to be the target of the bully and you're letting somebody else get hurt because of it, you're really no better than the bully.
And if you're afraid of that person who's bullying, all you have to do is go to an adult. That's all you have to do. If you're the friend or you're the bystander and you see something happen and you're afraid for your own safety to step in the situation, all you have to do is walk to the very next door. I'm sure it's a teacher's room, and walk in and say, there's a situation going on out there and this isn't safe and this person is being bullied all the time. And, you know, they're going to step in. Schools have policies and it's their job to keep you safe. So
you can even talk to a teacher anonymously. You can even pass a teacher a note and say, this is what's happening. I don't know how else to handle it, but can you please keep an eye on it?
I would stand up for you.
I would stand up for you too.
Right here. All right, I'm Holly.
I'm Charisse.
And we hope this helps you. And of course, you can always email us at hollycharisse@yahoo.com or leave a message in our private YouTube inbox or put a comment on this video if you need help. Okay?
Thanks for watching.
Thanks. Have a good day. And a lot of times your head is chopped off, the top of your head.
Should I slouch down a little bit?
I don't know. No, don't slouch. I think we need to sit upright, but...